Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and fellow enthusiasts in the pursuit of excellence in sports management. My name is Yannis Stavroulakis. I am senior editor at the Greek website gazeta.gr, and it is my distinct honor to introduce to you Mr. Michael Belot, the senior vice president of Bucks Ventures and Development at the renowned Milwaukee Bucks. And I'm pretty sure that everybody knows a Greek guy who is also part of this organization. With an illustrious career marked by strategic brilliance and an unwavering commitment to excellence, Mr. Belot has become synonymous with success in the world of sports, development, and venture management. Today, he stands ready to unveil the secrets of success in the dynamic realms of sports and hospitality. Mr. Belot, the stage is yours.
Great, thank you so very much, and yes, very excited to be here today. Today, I wanted to talk a little bit about just the Milwaukee Bucks organization and where we were and when the team was purchased by our ownership, and then also where we've been and where we're going to be going. One thing that's unbelievable with the Bucks is truly this past 10 plus years since our new ownership group came in, it's really been a transformation. And I think what everyone will see and learn is kind of just the big steps and the focus that it takes to turn around an organization, but it is possible. And then all the things that go into the Bucks, and one of the main things that I work on, to give you a little bit quick background on myself, I'm from here in Wisconsin. I worked for the PGA for about 12 years and ran major golf championships, the PGA Championship and the Ryder Cup. And then worked for a Kohler Company, if you're familiar with them, mainly known for plumbing around the world, but also have a hospitality group where I oversaw and ran most of the hospitality group with hotels, spas, retail, and such. And I've been with the Bucks here for about 5.5 years, and my responsibilities with the Bucks include overseeing all of our Deer District, which is development in and around the arena, our retail. I work on food and beverage, our G League team, e-gaming, a variety of different things. So this first slide starts out with a video that I think really gives some great perspective as to all things Milwaukee Bucks, that we're more than just a basketball team, and we really need to take this moment in time that we have had and been so successful on the court to also translate off the court and also be sustainable after, regardless of team performance, because you want to be a successful organization in things that you can't control. I don't have any impact on the team performance, but it's certainly something that we leverage right now, but you need to be prepared that may not always be the case. So with this, I think this will give you a good understanding of the Milwaukee Bucks and everything that that goes into our organization.
Mm-hmm.
We're the Milwaukee Bucks. You've probably heard of us, seen quite a bit of these guys. This guy, that guy, oh, and definitely him. Thanks, Jack Black. But we're not just a basketball team. We're a championship basketball team. That starts on the hard wood, from these guys putting in work every day to developing the next wave of talent, hungry for their shot. But it's way bigger than basketball. When you're just a basketball team, you play in an arena. We built a home. No, check that. We built an entire neighborhood. And not just for basketball. We book Mickey Mouse, Modest Mouse, Monster Trucks, Elton John, Kevin Hart, Kendrick Lamar, Carrie Underwood, Bruce Springsteen, Elton John, again, and Harry Styles. Ooh. When you're just a basketball team, you have a parking lot. We have an outdoor living room, and we can have a lot of people over for drinks, or parties, or festivals, or for the holidays. Or when you happen to go on a championship run uniting the city in a massive months-long party. It's fun to party at our place, and it's not just Milwaukee taking notice. Buck stuff is everywhere, here, there, even on this little guy. Seriously, everywhere. We've got fans showing us love all over the world. London, Paris, Abu Dhabi, and Greece, of course. You know, Greece loves us so much, we might build a second Deer District there. Just kidding. But we feel the love from fans all over the world. They watch us. They wear us. They play us. Did you know you could go pro playing video games? Yeah, we also won a championship doing that. We're not just a basketball team. We cross lines, cross continents, We know how to cross over. Ooh, whoa, hi. We're even showing up in Hollywood. But it's not just about the flash. We're a culture of people who stand for something. And we're not just talking about bucks and six. We show up for our community. We stand for social justice. We stand for doing what's right and for something bigger than ourselves. Because we're not just a basketball team. We're way bigger than that. We're the Milwaukee Bucks, and we're just getting started.
Okay, great. So I hope you all enjoyed that video, and I think first what we start off with all of our Bucks meetings, interdepartment, and when we bring in together the entire organizations, we always start in reviewing quickly our guiding principles. And while you can read them, I'll just touch base on a couple that are really important, that really set the tone for the organization. And again, when this new ownership group came up which I'll talk about in just a bit in 2014, I think the biggest thing you need to do is set examples, set principles, set what are you going to stand for as an organization. And I think ours are pretty simple, but very important, and filter from all the way top, which is our president, Peter Fagan, to every single employee, so they understand what the expectations are and how they're going to be held accountable. So first, be present or don't show up. When you're in a meeting, that means you come prepared, you're ready to engage, you're ready to participate, you're ready to walk out of that meeting with maybe something else to do. And if you're not going to be in that mindset, it's actually better that you're not in the meeting, because we need engaged professionals that are ready to work on whatever that project or whatever that discussion may be, and be able to constantly look for improvement. We have very high standards, things that we set almost unattainable, but if you don't set or see the vision, it's something that you're never going to really be able to obtain. We measure everything. We're very, very an inclusive organization. So meaning there are no trade secrets here. Everybody can use everyone, and we don't try to work in silos. Everyone can ask for help, look for engagement from others on things that may be outside of their normal day-to-day, but let everybody know what's going on. That's the best way you foster really an engaging culture, and also encourage people to care about areas outside of just maybe what they work on day to day. Other things I think, coming out of the pandemic, it's absolutely something we focus on is being face to face, having not always doing, Zoom calls and things like, well, it wouldn't be possible here for me to be in person necessarily. Something that we really focus on is always working together, working in person, because we think that's when really the results and actions happen, as opposed to being able to take maybe quote unquote the easy way out and communicate via video. Be kind to one another. Don't be a jerk. Be very be kind if it's something that isn't inside you to be a good person. You're not going to last very long here. And then last, you work your butt off here. You work very, very hard. We work unusual hours. We work weekends. We work nights. But at the same time, we get to have a job that a lot of people really envy. People want to be in the professional sports industry. People would give almost anything to be able to have the jobs that a lot of us have. And you need to realize that while that doesn't mean that it's not work. That doesn't mean it's not a job. You also have to realize that we get to do a pretty fun job, and we get to work with a lot of great people and get to see and do a lot of great things. So with that said, the team was purchased in 2014 by a group of owners, Wes Edens, Mark Lazary, and Jamie Dinan out of New York, mainly in the financial industry, hedge funds. And our basketball operations, what was the state of the team on the court? We were last in the NBA. We had the worst record. We had a terrible practice facility, an old gym that had a leaky roof, really no organized performance staff to get those players really to optimal condition. And then on the business side, so you have the basketball side on the court. On the business side, we were very disparate, meaning we were spread all out. Therefore, you didn't see people every single day. There wasn't just this this thought of working towards one goal. And we had the worst attendance in the NBA, so ticket sales were terrible. We had the second oldest arena. And then what was the awareness of the team overall? It was exceedingly low. Merchandise sales of 140,000. I think that was our online, number. Now we do, almost $3 million a year in merchandise sales online. So just a dramatic improvement there. Social media followers, you'd less than 1 million. So the team was really at an all-time low. Wasn't even really relevant in the NBA. Certainly not very relevant in Milwaukee. And then our ownership came in and focused on these main pillars on how we could improve it. And one was the physical plant, get better business offices, get a practice facility, local engagement. So when you talk about that, we were not really very relevant. One of the best ways, and a very smart move by our ownership, was to bring in local investors. So while they got maybe 1% of the team, now you have people that are from Milwaukee, as opposed to our ownership group that was from New York, that are engaged in the product, that are very influential, that are very connected, and they're walking around singing the praises of the Milwaukee Bucks. And that was just a very, very smart move, because while our ownership in New York didn't have that equity here in the city, they were able to get that by engaging these local owners, and people were dying for Bucks basketball to be successful, to be part of it. From an organizational structure, really making sure that the basketball and business operations teams work together, that they were synergized. While we're still not in the same office as far as business and basketball, our entire business operations is together, our entire basketball operations together. But I think just the general communication from a day-to-day basis between us and them, specifically Peter, our president, Kelly, our head of HR, everyone's really working towards the same goal and over communicating. And then we rebranded the organization, new logo, new identity, be able to get people enthused that there was something exciting on the horizon, and not that we weren't going to be the same old Milwaukee Bucks and kind of just middling within the NBA. So what actually happened? So those were goals, but this is what actually happened. So the arena, we built a new arena, $524 million investment, about half and half public and private. And now we have a state-of-the-art Fiserv Forum, which is just unbelievable. One of the best arenas in the entire league, that opened in the fall of 2018. A practice facility. We have a new practice facility, 80,000 square feet, about $30 million investment, and partnered with Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin, which is our medical partner, our healthcare partner, that also has a hospital attached to our practice facility. So the players used to go to a place where the roof would leak. They'd have to settle the bucket to catch the water. It was far away from Fiserv Forum in Milwaukee in the Deer District, and now it's right across the street, and one of the best in the entire league. And our business office, I'm sitting in our business office, right now, this is just a couple blocks away from Fiserv Forum. Again, we're all together. It's about 20,000 square feet. And, it just fosters that sort of working towards one goal, engagement on day-to-day, really being focused on the task at hand. So that's what was happening as far as the team and the overall goals. One of the biggest things that our ownership and everyone focused on, and was part of the promise that we were able to get this new arena, is that we are going to develop this area in downtown Milwaukee, and that's what's called the Deer District. So the photo you see there is the outline of the Deer District, which is approximately 30 acres. You can see to the left of it that it's very close to I-43, which is a major artery in Milwaukee, and the proximity, accessibility to this major highway of the Deer District. We're really the focal point of your entrance into Milwaukee. And our goal was to make this something that people would live, play, stay in the Deer District. And rarely do you have the opportunity to build up an urban environment or neighborhood almost from scratch. And we had that opportunity, and something we didn't take lightly. And I think so far we've been successful, but we have a ways to go. So this is a photo of what's generally referred to as the entertainment block, but this is a photo from during the NBA Finals, and how many people were outside enjoying the party, enjoying watching Milwaukee Bucks, enjoying us win a championship. And that really put the district on the map and accelerated the notoriety of the district, where people now all across the state and certainly across the country, when you say Deer District, people immediately know it's in Milwaukee, it's associated with the Bucks. And then they also think of that visual of 60, 50,000 people outside, all celebrating safely, loving the Milwaukee Bucks and all the success. So this is a site plan of what all things Deer District, and you see in the center there is Fiserv Forum, which we refer to really as Block 1, and then everything else is around the district and what we're looking to develop. So blocks 2 and 3 are where the former arena, the Bradley Center, used to be located, and then working your way towards the right where it says Block 4, that's our entertainment district, and that was the first thing to open. And you'll see, I'll give you a little bit more information on that later. And then on Block 5, working your way north. That's where we have residential development slated. Block 6 is where we have our new hotel, which I'll talk about. Block 7 is our parking garage and also has some retail. And then last but not least, Block 8 is that training center with Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin. So next, this is really an aspirational drawing that was made up from when we were looking to develop the Deer District. So you wanted to give the market something to react to. And this is the pretty picture that we came up with mixed use development. And you can see that the different colors represent the forecasted use. So the purple represents hotels, the reddish color represents retail, orange is residential, and then blue office. And we've been successful to a degree in obtaining and securing a lot of this. Obviously, COVID set us back, but then you also pivot based on what's going on with COVID, what's going on with costs and interest rates, and we've been able to, I think, adjust to where the market's at and have some great plans on the horizon for how to develop the district. So this is what's already here. So you see, where it says the heart of the Deer District, and then the entertainment block tenants. These are existing tenants that we work with. So Good City Brewing is a pub, local brewer, crafted brewer here in Milwaukee that gives, again, that local flavor, something that's very connected to the city of Milwaukee. Then Punch Bowl Social is a gaming bar that has bowling, arcade games, and a variety of other things you can do. Very popular with the entertainment. Then Drink Wisconsinably is a local bar that plays on all things Wisconsin. People from Wisconsin are very proud that they're from Wisconsin, very proud of the history of the things that make our state unique. Insomnia Cookies is a cookie shop. The Beer Garden is an outdoor spot with a giant screen that people can enjoy beer and drinks in the summer. Fat Tuesdays is a frozen drink spot that's exceedingly popular. The Mecca is a sports bar that has a 42-foot screen. All things sports is the best sports bar in the state of Wisconsin, if you ask me. Then the Trade Hotel is a new hotel that opened up in May with 207 rooms and really, I think, the crown jewel of lodging in Milwaukee. Gather is our music venue, or not music venue. Gather is our private event space that is exceedingly popular for weddings and for special events. And then where you see the Live Nation logo, that's where we're going to be partnering with them on a 4,500 person music venue that's going to be coming here and breaking ground in the next couple months. So another thing that's very popular, so we have all these tenants, we have all these games. Marquette is a local college here that's very successful in basketball that plays out of Fiserv Forum. We have Bucks games, we have concerts, we have family shows, but we need to also program outside the district to make sure that people are coming down here, irrespective of if there's an event happening in the arena or not. We want them to think of, when they're wondering what to do today, that one of the first places they think is, oh, let's go to Deer District. There's always something happening there. And that's something that is really important. So we focused a lot on programming the district, whether it be through hosting the Milwaukee Marathon, farmers markets, craft fairs. We do fitness. all sorts of different things that we really try to have diverse programming, something for everyone that gets people to come down the district, enjoy the day, enjoy everything that's happening down here. So I talked a little bit about the hotel that opened this past May. So now we're just about 6 months or so ago, and those are all renderings, but the renderings are strikingly, they look like photos of exactly what it does look like today. And it's just opened and had tremendous success. Their occupancy has been fantastic. It has 2 restaurants, one on the first floor, which is the photo that's in the middle towards the photo that's above the other photos. You see the bar and restaurant there, and then there's a rooftop bar and restaurant, a high-end Italian restaurant. And what was really a lot of fun about this project is while it's a land lease between us and the developer, we also retain the opportunity to be able to approve the exterior and interior design. So one of the floors of the hotel is designed with the thought of visiting basketball teams in mind. So if you walked on the 4th floor, you'd notice the ceilings are higher, the shower heads are higher, the counters are higher, bigger beds, all really designed with the thought of what are NBA teams or college teams looking for on the road, and how can we make something that accommodates them and something that they're going to be very excited for and unique and select, therefore, that they want to stay at the trade. Next, a music venue that we've partnered with Frank Productions, which is a local promoter here in Milwaukee, and then Live Nation, which is obviously the world's largest concert promoter, and something that we're very, very excited about. That's going to be breaking ground in the fall of 24 here, and then opening in 25. That's going to really plug a hole for groups that tour that aren't big enough yet to be into Fiserv Forum, but still can sell thousands of tickets and bring that activity, those people to be eating and drinking and hanging out here and staying longer in the Deer District. And that's a project that we've been working on for a very long time. It's really the new trend in music venues, and they're building a lot of them around the country. And we're thrilled that we're going to have one here in the district. And then last, while this doesn't flow with the other things I was just speaking about, I think this gives some great perspective as to where the Milwaukee Bucks are overall in the NBA, and how can we take this moment and leverage it across all our platforms. So, when you look from a population perspective, Milwaukee's probably in the bottom 5. As far as metro areas that have an NBA team, or not probably, it is in the bottom 5. But then look at the top selling NBA merchandise. A lot of this is due to Giannis with being a global superstar. We have Damian Lillard, who's an exceedingly popular player as well. But look at some of the markets that we're ahead of, that we're selling more merchandise than, being ahead of Chicago and New York and Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Dallas, places that, from a global perspective, people don't think of Milwaukee as one of their first cities in the United States, but they do think of the Milwaukee Bucks when they think of NBA, and when they think of sports, and they think of global superstars like Giannis. And that's really when I talked about us being able to leverage this moment in time to our advantage, and for something for us to realize that maybe we won't always have a global superstar. We won't always be competing for titles, but you need to now develop those fans now when they're young, do things right, and then, develop that, because when you need them, when the team maybe isn't performing as well, you need to do everything in the best in class manner, have the best food and beverage, have the best in-game entertainment, the best merchandise, the best things to do before, during, and after a game here in the Deer District. And that's, really been our focus. So with that, that's the presentation, but I'm happy to now answer any questions, and thank you for having me.
Great. To be honest, I have some additional questions. First of all, I would like to ask you, Ms. Belot, taking into account the fact that almost 10 years ago, the Milwaukee Bucks had one of the worst, let's say, records in the NBA. So how did the organization balance short-term goals, such as winning immediate games, with the long-term vision of building a championship winning team, a new arena, and the Deer District?
Yeah, I think that's a good question in the sense of, there's some things that when you come in that you can make almost immediate changes. You can change the structure of the organization. You can pursue a new arena and things like that that are a little bit to a degree in under your control. I think there were some things that lined up very well that when the new owners came in, we had Giannis, but we didn't know that he had the potential or the capability to be the player that he is, or maybe we had an inkling or a hope, but he wasn't at that level in 2014. He was very early in his career. So I think you focus on things that you can control, and then you put the foundation in place to be able to build towards those longer term goals. So they knew when they came in here in 2014 that a championship wasn't possible in the first 2-3 years, but you put those building blocks, that foundation, that mindset across the organization. I know Wes Edens was recently on a podcast, and one of the things that he made clear, he said, and this is before my time, but when he met employees and met people, one of the first times he said, if your goal, or you don't think we can win a championship here in Milwaukee, then you should find another place to work, because that is our goal. That's our unwavering goal. Everything that we do is to be the best at, and we're not going to apologize that we're from Milwaukee. There's advantages with that. There's certainly some challenges and some things that make it a little bit more difficult, but we are not going to waver in what our goal and overall objective is. So, we're fortunate to have an ownership group that's incredibly supportive of that goal. They spend a lot of money on the team, disproportionate to other teams of our market size, and now it's our job to deliver.
By the way, I saw the very interesting video that you presented us in the beginning of your presentation. I saw many jerseys of Giannis Antetokounmpo all around the world. I see jerseys of Giannis in China, in North Europe, in Africa, everywhere. So I would like to ask you, how important is it for the organization to have a player like Giannis Antetokounmpo, who generates such enormous hype and has all the spotlights on him, for development in areas such as the constant improvement and steady growth in core business or in every other part?
Well, we couldn't be where we're at without a player like Giannis, and Giannis is a once in a generational player. And I think that's why the owners and the organization has invested so heavily, because you realize you have this unique moment in time, this once in a generation player that has embraced Milwaukee, that constantly wants to get better, that wants to win. And certainly it has a dramatic impact on the business side. We sell more tickets at a higher price because we have Giannis. We sell more jerseys and more merchandise because we have Giannis. People want to come to the Deer District and know about the Milwaukee Bucks. A lot of that is due to him. And that's something that everybody realizes, but you also realize, you need to put a great team around him. You need to invest in championships. And then we need to, again, do everything in best in class manner. So if someone comes to a game, to come and see Giannis play, because which many do, they want to come and they want their opportunity to see Giannis. We have to deliver that they park and have a good, they can get in and out of the arena, that they have a good hot dog or burger, and that they can find the merchandise that they're looking for, and that they enjoy themselves at the game. Those are the things that we can influence and control and get them to come back. But having a person and a player like Giannis, gets your foot in the door, and then it's our job to do the rest, I think.
And finally, you mentioned earlier that the Bucks used to have the worst attendance in the NBA. So what role did community engagement play in the Bucks roadmap to championship back in 2021? And how does it contribute to the overall success of the organization?
Yeah, I think definitely, from our standpoint, community is one of the top pillars that we focus on a daily basis. So giving back to the community, we're exceedingly charitable, give away millions of dollars a year to local foundations and charity. I mentioned about our local owners that are very influential, that own and run companies and are charitable in their own right, and give back to the community. That this is something that is very, very important, because people want to see not only what you're doing on the court when they're supporting you, but they want to see what you're doing off the court. And we are, if you do a quick internet, Google search, we are as engaged locally in the community and really looked at as community stewards, as leaders. We led during the bubble. We boycotted a game due to social justice and our stance on how important and vital that was to Milwaukee and to the world. And I think, from our standpoint, community engagement goes hand in hand with wanting to be the best. We want to give back the most. We want to be the most engaged. And again, people here in Milwaukee definitely see and feel that the Milwaukee Bucks care about them and care about the community.
Mhm. And I guess that the images of the full crowd in the Deer District during the celebrations for the title was, let's say, a dream that came true, right?
Yes, it was a dream. I think that you never really could imagine that many people would be outside of Deer District. It wasn't designed to hold 50 or 60,000 people outside the arena while there's a game going on that has 20,000 in the arena, but it was a dream. It was something that, being a sports fan my whole life, being from Wisconsin and now working for the organization, when all that comes together, it's just one of those moments. Everybody has them in their life that you'll never forget. And definitely one of mine was that championship run and that visual of the Deer District of everybody enjoying, a championship. And it really was for them. It was for the fans. It was, the team put in so much hard work and what an unbelievable time it was.
Great, that was great. Mr. Belot, thank you very, very much for your time and for this very, very interesting conversation that we had for the front runners in sports management.
Great. Thank you very much for having me. All the best. Take care.
We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Bye.